Greetings from Kentucky. It's day number 5 of All Natural Face November, so let me run through what I have on really quickly. First of all, these are the eye colors, and they are all swatched. You'll see that high shine. They are all swatched over a Diva stick in pink ice. So pink ice went from the lash line to the brow bone. Over here is a color called Sunset Purple, and that is what I have in the outer V. Then in here you're seeing a little bit of that pink ice. This is the new color, Mystique. It's showing up as a gray, but it does have pinks and rose color shooting through it. This is a color called Pink Gold. These two are on the lid, applied wet. This on the inside, this on the center, more towards the outside. And in the crease I had Pearl Gray. So these 4 colors are on the eye. Next over here is the lip color. This is the color I wanted. It is the color called Baby Doll Pink. Here is a sample of Baby Doll Pink. However, Baby Doll Pink on my lips didn't show up because I don't have enough natural color. So I put down some sweet wine underneath it. So sweet wine was just to give my lips color, and then over sweet wine is the Baby Doll Pink. That's a little lighter lip than I go with, but I'm going to give it a try. And then over here are the blush colors for today. This is Touch of Pink, and then for the highlight I used a shade called Really Pink. Overall, I was happy with the palette. This, of course, didn't fit the sweet wine, but I just needed to put something on so that I could put the pink on top. A few people have asked me how to put on the cream foundation, and I do think it's a little bit different than using an unnatural foundation, if you will. There's no silicone in it, so you're not going to get the slip and slide that you would get with the silicone. What is making it slide on your face is the oil, and in order for that to work, it has to warm up. I'm going to tuck in a video of me actually applying the foundation in a very complex way where I mix and match shades of the foundation. You don't have to go through all that nonsense. Basically, today, for example, all I did is take one shade, Porcelain Kissed by Honey. Not the best match for me, but it works. Put it on the back of my hand so it warms up, and then applied it with my fingers. Works great. No issues. So if you don't want to go through the long, involved process that I show in this video, you really don't have to. You can just get the color match that you like, warm it up on the back of your hand, take a little bit out, warm it up on the back of your hand, and apply it with your fingers. Again, the spotlight today is on the foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and put that clip in of me applying the foundation. Time to get started. I'm going to clip back hair. First of all, in this bowl I have warm water, I have a beauty blender, and I have a drop of this Argan Rosemary Facial Cleansing Oil. When I'm at the beach, I make this myself. I just use a little bit of argan oil. Sometimes I'll drop in a little bit of honey and then fresh rosemary. But I'm in Kentucky now, and I don't have fresh rosemary. This is what I use when I don't have access to fresh rosemary. As you can see, I have my beauty blender in here. I like the Beauty Blender. I don't like the pink dye in the Beauty Blender, so next time I will probably get a sponge that does not have dyes in it. But I am a fan of the Beauty Blender. I really do like it, and I will miss it. I wish the Beauty Blender would make a sponge without the pink dyes. So, on to doing the foundation. One of the things that I really like about the All Natural Face is that I can get the foundation for a really reasonable price, and I can get it in a lot of shade ranges. And then, of course, it's all vegan, all natural. So, one of the things I do is I mix 2 shades. This is Olive Warmer, this is Olive Pale. The olive shades have a kind of green-yellow cast that works well for me. I am Portuguese, I can use that shade of foundation. I can also use the ivory kinds of shades, the porcelain, ivory, rose shades, which are more pink undertoned, and I also use the tan undertone sometimes. So I can keep a lot of these around. A 10-gram jar of the foundation is $6.50. I picked up a bunch of them when I had a Groupon, which was basically 2 for 1. So what, 3 1/4 for the product, and I really enjoy using it, so win-win. I'm going to start this foundation routine by using a little bit of Midas. This is a color corrector. Put it right there on my hand and just rub it so that it warms the product up. You can see now it's spreading. So I'm going to go ahead and See if I can cover up these bad boys with some color corrector. And I'll just tap this in. Don't use it on the lids because I'm going to use Buff, the primer in Buff, and that will take down some of the color. Next, I'm going to take this shade, Olive Warmer. This is a little darker than I am. And to pull this product out of the pot, I just use these handy-dandy Starbucks stoppers. That's what I always use. But there's the product on the back of my hand. And just as before, I'm going to go ahead and warm it up. There it is. Next, I'm going to take this shade, which is Olive Pale. This is lighter than I am by at least one shade. Really, really difficult to find an olive foundation in a pale shade. Love that. There is Olive Pale. Again, there it is, warmed up on the hand. Now it's time for the Beauty Blender. I am going to squeeze the water out of it. And next I'm just going to kind of swirl all these colors I have on the back of my hand, just that excess product. And now I just start to press it into the skin. The Beauty Blender, you're supposed to bounce, but up here around the hairline, I just want to shear it out. So I rub a little, then I bounce. And you can use this small side to go under the eyes, but I have such dark circles that I really don't want it sheared out there. That's where I want somewhat fuller coverage. So I am going to tap. That is a really involved foundation routine, and you don't really need to do all that. In between these two shades is the shade Olive Warm. Olive Warm would be the perfect match for me. So I could simply get Olive Warmer, scoop it on the back of my hands, rub it in, and work it in with my fingers, and be done. I just like to play. I don't know. Maybe I liked to play in the mud when I was little, not sure what it is. But at any rate, I tend to do a little bit of contouring, just get a little bit more dimension in the face that way. But honestly, you could make it much, much simpler. I used to think, oh, this is only a foundation I could use in the spring and the fall. In the winter, I feared I would be too dry. And in the summer, I feared it would be too oil-based for me. Lo and behold, I used it this summer. It worked beautifully. And now with the Celtic Complexion, we're going to see, but I think I'm going to make it through the whole winter with this foundation. I love that, again, because it's so reasonably priced, and I love the idea of having a foundational routine that is inexpensive, that's all natural, and that's vegan. It just works for me. By the way you find out your color choices on this is that for, I think it's for between $4 and $5, you can get a sample of the pigment, the powder form, in every color they make in your range. So mine would be fair to medium, which I did. And then once you determine which pigment or pigments work for you, you can then order the corresponding cream. That's the best way of getting your color match. One more tip before I leave this video. I usually wait about 5 minutes and really let it meld with my skin. And then since I'm old, I'm 54, I'm going to be 55 in January, I go back through and I know where my wrinkly bits are. And so I just go through and press on those places so that later in the day I don't have any settling. And actually, as the day goes on, as your skin warms, the opposite happens. It really just continues to work with your skin. So I don't have any issues with it in the same way that I would with, say, a water-based foundation. Water-based foundations are really difficult for me. The other thing I should tell you is that underneath all of this, I have pretty much an oil-based routine. I am using Celtic Complexion Cream morning and night because it has gotten dry. I do use the Celtic Complexion Tinted Moisturizer. This is what I'm using right now. I don't always use this, but I'm giving this a try, and I'm liking this. I will say this comes in a medium, which is not my shade. I didn't know it comes in the light. I'm trying the light now, and lo and behold, the light works. This does have water in it, but it also has jojoba oil, it has shea butter, it has so many things in it that moisturize your skin. It also comes in this white or clear. Making sure you have oil-based products underneath, I think, is probably key to making sure you have good success with an oil-based cream foundation. Okay, I guess it's probably back to the regularly scheduled program. I hope that clip was useful for those of you working with the cream foundation if you haven't tried it before. I do think it's a good foundation for somebody with aging skin. It's very moisturizing. One other thing I would say is that if you need more coverage, and I do in this area right here, the best way to do that is to build it slowly, but then really having a powder in the same color or a complementary shade, and you can get that from the All Natural Face, and dabbing that onto the places where you need more coverage is probably the best way to go. So use as little cream as you can get away with, and then just, kind of dab on with a brush with your fingers the powder foundation where you need it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and yes, 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 make it a great, great day. Bye.